welcome back YouTube. Today we are going to be unboxing the Brine Shrimp Blender. This is the smaller version. This is the 700 as opposed to the 2 litre. I don't have enough fish to feed the 2 litre one too, so let's see how this one works in comparison to that one that I did the other day, which was useless for me because, well, mainly because of the temperatures here, to be fair, but I've got a little heater for this one, and let's see how we get on. Okay, so this is the product here. Like I say, it's the 700mm Ziss Aqua. It's got this little stand and everything like that, but I'm going to try and modify this, see if I can put a proper tap on it just to extend that, because I think that's going to be quite difficult to get my hand under just to sort of get the brine shrimp out. But let's unbox it and see how we go. Scissors would have been good, wouldn't they? And this is what you get. So we've got the lid. That way. I'm guessing these are the legs for the stand. That looks like the base. That's the air tube that sits in the bottom here. Don't need that, that's the bracket. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just there, look. So let's have a go at putting this together. That is basically how it's gonna stand. Heater, I've got the mini heater. Take that off. I've got a mini heater which is going to fit through there. That I think is for the thermostat, which I haven't got, but I don't need one because I'm using the heater. That I believe is for the air line to attach that to. But let's see how we get on. That's on. Now I hope I'm right, I think this goes on the bottom here. There we go. And the reason they've given you a sturdy pipe rather than a flex air pipe is because the air needs to sit as close to that bottom bit as possible, really. You don't want the air stone bubbling up and everything like that. And this has got to be, yeah, the tap at the bottom. So that's where I'd like to try and modify it a little bit, really. Put a tube on there with another tap in it, so I can undo this, flow it down to the tap, undo the tap, and then drain it into something else. But we'll see how we get on. We're just going to test it first and just see how well this works. So that is, smart. Need to cut that. Right, so the length is a little bit long, what they've given me on this tube, so I need to cut that back a little bit, I think. Yeah, because it's just going to keep pushing the lid off. So back in a minute, I'll just trim that down. There we go. That's a much better fit. Some of you may notice that it's the pipe now seems to be a little bit flexible. Yeah, I cut it too short. What can I say? Noob. But yeah, this one's in, this one's fine. That'll do nicely. So we'll get that on there. Now next what we've got to do is sort out the water, the salt and the brine shrimp. So I'll get back to you in just 1 minute. Okay, so we've got some water. Although this holds 700, it doesn't really. 600 is right at the top here. I know 800 at the top. Okay, well I've gone for 500ml. Of water, and what I'm going to do is I've put warm water in here, so this is 28 degrees, just because I don't want to put it in cold. And let's use my little scoop. 4 heaped. One, 2, 3, 4. They weren't really heaped, but that's 4. Now you do have to give it a good mix up. You want it to be completely dissolved. You don't want anything, no lumps, no rocks, no nothing in there. And I guess that's why, you know, warm water will actually help dissolve it quicker, so win-win. And while I muck about with that, I'll just go get the air line, which fits onto this other Hyger here. Okay, so that's the salt water done. Need to pour it in here. Just make sure you've closed it, because there's, you don't want to pour it in and it all comes pissing out that little tap there. So we'll close that. Somebody's measuring wasn't quite good. That's more than 500. Next we need the brine shrimp eggs. So these have been kept in the fridge. They have been opened, but I keep them in the fridge. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you just don't want moisture getting into them because you're just going to spoil them completely. Let's go with 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4. That's a bit of a heat one. 4. Okay, so airline is attached. Let's see how we get on. Now I will be moving this. It won't be sitting on this desk. Because as you can hear, it vibrates quite a lot, so it will be down underneath there on the carpet. And the last thing that we need to do is pop in our little USB heater. And set that to, I'm going to set it to 28. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this for 24 hours, come back and have a look. I'm not going to put a light on it, but what I will do is tomorrow I will have a little light just to separate the eggs and bring the brine shrimp down to the bottom here. But I'm just going to pop this down on the floor now under the desk out of the way, and we'll come back and revisit it tomorrow. Okay, so we're back. It's been just under 48 hours, so let's have a quick look and see how we're getting on. I did manage to modify the airflow pipe as well. I actually just shoved the air hose in the outlet spout, pushed it right in and tightened it up with the little nut at the bottom, so you can have a look. So that's the airflow pipe there, look, and that just goes into the bottom. But as you can see, that's looking pretty good. I've got the heater in there as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this little light under here, turn it off, sorry, turn everything off, put this little light under here for about 10 minutes, and that will attract all the baby brine shrimp down to the bottom. Obviously make sure that's locked. You don't want anything coming out once I pull this out. So yeah, I'll put the light on and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so we've been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, they've separated. All the shells are floating at the top. And let me try and get you a better close-up of down here. hopefully you can see that. There's a lot of baby brine shrimp in there, an awful lot. So yeah, for me personally, using this method versus the UFO, the disc type one with the little hole in the middle, I mean, this particular method wins hands down. I would really recommend this product and this way of hatching out your baby brine shrimp. Really, really good. I mean, yeah, it is a little bit noisy, but you know, if you've got it in a separate room or something like that, it's only on for what, 36, maximum 48 hours. So, you know, it's not that bad really, to be fair. And then all we do, I'll probably show you this as well while we're here, to get these little brine shrimp out. Pop a little, I mean, this is the only awkward thing about it, to be fair. This stand is not particularly sturdy. I'm a bit worried about knocking it over, but basically get your jug or get a pipe, feed it out into a jug, sieve out the salt water, and then feed it to your fish, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Really, really appreciate it. I'm going to start doing a few more videos. Would really love somebody to subscribe. That'd be great. Maybe a like, maybe a thumbs up, maybe a comment, and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you. Take care.